All right, before we get started with this video, there's a few of you guys who hit me up saying that Splice is no good. They are not royalty free because you ended up with a content ID claim, or if you tried to put it on Instagram and they removed it. It's not a Splice issue. Splice is royalty free, but it's a content ID issue.
Oh yeah, we starting it off quick. Like my biggest issue again is not necessarily Splice or anything like that, because we do similar stuff at 16levels.com. My thing is, I wish people would be more honest with these copyright claims on people's channels, and especially on TikTok, because for some reason TikTok likes to stop anything where I'm making a drum line before I drop a beat, which is ridiculous. But the biggest issue that Bolo is talking about right now is people that's not reading the terms of service when you are doing content ID. It asks you if this is your original work. If you used a whole entire loop, or if you sampled somebody else's work, then you cannot claim it on the content ID on any platform. Let me repeat that. If you did not make the melody or the drum break, you cannot claim it on any platform's content ID. That is against the law.
With who the distributor of the song was. So if you use like BeatStars and you added the content ID on it, or if you use like TuneCore, or if you use DistroKid and you did not whitelist it, that's the issue.
Right.
It's not the royalty-free sample from Splice or wherever you got it from.
Something similar happened in the situation with this drum kit right here, which is royalty-free, by the way. And the Suicide Boys and Tay Keith used some samples from this pack. And, you know, here you go with the big three, which is Sony Music Group, hate them, Warner Music Group, don't like them either, and UMG, damn sure don't like them. Where, you know, the Suicide Boys, they had their song, and this is where the lines get blurred. Like, you guys got to be mindful. Don't do that. And the Suicide Boys, shout out to them. They were nice enough to remove those copyright claims. And, you know, we got some understanding due to, you know, I had to talk to UMG and make sure that that people know, like, come on, man, like, this is made for everybody. This is royalty free. Let's keep it royalty free, okay? So, yeah, I appreciate, you know, shout out to Suicide Boys and shout out to Tay Keith and, you know, a lot of the people that are getting into the whole funk thing, because we got to keep this right.
All right, so quick story time before we actually get into this. So the other day, I actually made a track, and I posted a track on all my social media. And yeah, go ahead and, not too bad. Yeah, so the sample in there is actually from Splice, and I actually caught up with the guy who actually made the sample, and I'm gonna have, you know, him probably send me some more stuff. But I like the stuff that he has on Splice, and I want to make a beat behind it.
All right, Bolo, you're gonna be making another video talking about, hey man, I didn't know that I got samples from this too, and someone else made it with them. I'm just playing, Bolo. You know, I rocks with you, by the way. And this ain't about, when I do these videos, this is not about beefing with other content creators or anything like that. I'm just adding my perspective and thoughts and stuff like that, and offering my wisdom, because, you know, I'm an old head too. You feel me?
But then, lo and behold, there's always a super hater. Now, it's haters all the time on these videos that say stuff, and it's all good. But then you get the ones sometimes to where you just got to kind of, you know, find out who they are.
Bruh. We right here right now. You ain't here.
So this guy actually came in my DM and was like, that's a Splice loop. So many people have used that loop. You're not original. There's no originality to the song. There's nothing. It's trash. It's crazy how people use these loops, and everybody's reusing the loops, and it's just horrible for hip hop. So you know what I did? I found out who he was.
Petty. Now, I get it. I 100% get it. As someone that's a content creator, what we deal with are people that are extremely lazy and they're doing the bare minimum to get whatever career off the ground. And I don't want to be discouraging to anybody that is aspiring, but I will give you the best type of advice, period. It's called research and recon. If you're going to partake in any kind of a market, and this is business 101, you need to do the research and recon to see why someone else is successful. Like, for example, Bolo is very successful because he has a niche. He has a super niche that I knew nothing of, but it helped grow his channel because he was doing a lot of memes on IG and stuff like that, and it helped him grow. He's a hilarious content creator, by the way, on IG, and I recommend that you check him out. I'll even have his information linked in the description box. But you have to do the work, and a lot of people want to skip over that and just want to blame the world for them being trash. And I bet you sweet money that his beats are trash.
And I went to his page. And lo and behold, I found out that this guy makes beats too. They were all trash. The beats were trash.
I knew it! I knew it, dog! And just like clockwork, the dude is hot garbage. Now, it could be, I'm going to play both sides of the fence. It could be that the type of music that homie makes isn't what Bolo is into, and perhaps he just wanted to get that bar off. But the reality of the situation is, dude, you guys need to stop blaming everyone and start blaming yourself, and then do the work. When you start building with positive thinking, bro, I'm telling you guys, if you do the work and you build off of positivity, there are more opportunities for you. I'm a prime example of that. I've been doing some positive stuff for years on years on years. Sure, I might piss some people off, but the work is done. Like, we're talking about 62 hours a week, hard work constantly. And yeah, people like that put in that type of work will see success.
Find out he samples. But he actually samples like songs, popular songs from like James Brown. I think he had a Dionne Warwick. He had a Prince sample, which you know that's not getting cleared. Or
Hell
Dionne
no.
Warwick sample's not getting cleared. And he had, I think, like another sample from one of them funk bands or something like that. All these samples that he had, and he was actually like trying to lease these samples.
I don't know what Bolo is referring to as far as like him leasing stuff. Maybe he's talking about leasing the beats. And if you are the type of music producer that uses other people's copyrighted material, you might as well just get you an account at TrackLib. I highly recommend TrackLib, as they do clear those samples for you, and that's the biggest thing. Like, they have libraries and stuff that you can work with. If you kind of old school like me, you know, you boom bap biased and you know, like to sample from vinyl, TrackLib is the next best thing. Not necessarily Splice, but I don't have anything against Splice and, you know, their model or anything like that. But they're pretty much the antithesis opposite, but kind of similar in a sense. But there are people that are selling chop loops and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie, like, when I first started out making beats on the computer, which had horrible samplers at that time, yeah, like, I used to get those chop loop packs and then, you know, just copy and paste or whatever. Yeah, Mcree was a mouse clicker. But yeah, now that isn't the case. You have TrackLib, you have Splice, you have us at 16levels.com. Link in the description box.
So not royalty free. Wait, he was trying to monetize from it. But I don't think anybody bought them because they were all whack. But what I'm trying to say is, this guy was getting on me for using loops, but he felt that it was perfectly okay to use other people's copyrighted material that is not royalty free. But in this situation, I'm in the wrong. Am I tripping?
No, Bolo, you ain't wrong for that, but you are using my zoom in effect. Hey, that's mine. That's my style. No, I'm just playing. Carry on.
Or talking about loops and saying, oh, loops is not the real way of hip hop and it's destroying the game. And so many people using the same loops and everything sounds the same. But last time I checked, hip hop was built on samples. Because, it all started with the DJs from New York in the 70s where they used to have block parties.
Herc.
And during the block parties, they would play popular songs. And during those popular songs, they would have break beats in those popular songs where it'll just be nothing but the instrumental and it'll just be a break beat where everybody can move, dance, and do what they want to do. And that became popular. And then a lot of times there would be local guys who would rap over those break beats live. Then over time, people started making songs from those breakbeats. And then lo and behold, in the early 80s, the sampler comes out to where you can sample a couple seconds of something. And man, that was it.
That was it.
You could actually go in and sample some of your favorite songs and put them together. And the crazy part about it is they just wouldn't sample the songs, but they would sample the drums, which we all know some of the most iconic hip hop drums came from who? James Brown. And a few other drummers and a few other bands, but James Brown's drummer had one of the popular, the most popular breakbeat of all times, which I can't really play it right now.
Here's the drummer that Bolo was referring to, and this is Clyde Stubblefield. And Stubblefield is known for the funky drummer break, and everybody knows about that. There's also J-Bo too as well, that is a fire drummer for James Brown. You got Sly too as well, and the biggest one that I like, of course, is Lynn Collins' Think. That's the name of the song, at least, and that is a very famous drum break that was extremely popular and is used almost in every freaking drum and bass song ever. Not to mention Baltimore House. So tell me how you feel about this situation. I don't think Bolo is wrong in this case, to be fair. And a lot of the things that he was saying is very accurate, 1,000% accurate. You can just do the research, the due diligence or whatever, and you can see how hip hop was created. And for all the people that would be contrarians and be in the comment section talking about you should make your own original content or whatever, dude, that does not solve the issue in modern day times, and nor has it solved the issue in the past. Like, me and my homeboys back in the day, we made tons of tracks and we released them, and that's why a lot of music producers don't put their beats out online at all. I asked TMA8 about it, and I already knew what he was referring to, because a lot of people will take your original content and then try to make their own type of original content, and sometimes even in a cook-up session, they will turn around and steal some of your content there and then act as if they made the original content or would even credit you. So it's not about you making original compositions or playing your original drums, because even as a content creator that is somewhat large or noticeable, I get copyright claims from, and manual ones at that, from UMG, where I'm making a drum line from scratch. Yes, you heard me right, a drum line. I've even got copyright claims for hi-hats. I've got copyright claims for melodies that I played myself because someone stole the melody. So it's not about that, okay? It's about a lot of the people are kind of dishonest out here, and we live in this whole scam culture where people just want to take shortcuts. They don't want to go from the rags to riches. They just want to go from shortcut to riches. And that's always going to be an issue in this society. But dude, if we're talking about loops and using loops, dude, there's nothing wrong with using loops. Hip hop is about that. Matter of fact, almost every damn genre of music is based on loops. Let's keep that 1,000. There are different genres of music that use loops. So it's just not on hip hop. So don't even try that argument in the comment section.